If gut health is important to you, then you're probably wondering, what should I be eating? My name is Olia with Holistic Homestead Life, and contrary to popular belief, yogurt is not the best probiotic food. The best probiotic food happens to be kefir. Yes, kefir. I'm going to tell you what kefir is, as well as why it's the best, according to what science says, and I'll link all of that down in the description below. And for those of you wondering, should I buy it at the store or make it at home? I'll answer that as well. So what is kefir? Kefir is similar to yogurt. It's just not as thick, kind of like a drinkable yogurt. Kefir is made by introducing kefir grains into milk or water. And today I'm going to be primarily focusing on milk kefir. These kefir grains look like little rubbery pieces of cauliflower. And once they're done doing their job, they're removed, and the result is kefir. Now, compared to yogurt, kefir has a lot more of the good stuff and a greater variety of probiotic strains. Yogurt is required to have at least 2 probiotic strains, and on average contains about 4 to 6. Milk kefir, on the other hand, has up to 61 different strains of bacteria and yeast, and that's just what we humans have identified. And the kicker, kefir is the only food that contains a substance called kefir. You will never find kefirin in yogurt, and it's a very powerful and healing substance. In one study, when scientists applied a gel made out of kefir grains, they found that the wounds healed at a much faster rate than those in the control. There are many different studies out there that show that kefir is associated with tumor suppression and prevention, gastrointestinal immunity and allergy, it's wound healing, and has antibacterial and antifungal activity. Because kefir contains many different yeast, one strain in particular was found to be effective against C. diff, which causes diarrhea. Now, we've all heard of the gut-brain axis. There is also a thing called the gut-skin axis. And in one study, people that consumed kefir for 8 weeks discovered that it boosted their skin barrier and helped reduce atopic dermatitis like eczema. Even the healthy volunteers experienced an increase in skin hydration during those 8 weeks. And those with atopic dermatitis went from severe cases to mild cases during the 8 weeks, which is a huge improvement. According to WebMD, historians believe kefir originated centuries ago in the Caucasus Mountains in Eastern Europe near present-day Turkey. The word kefir is derived from the Turkish word kef, which translates to good feeling. The people of these northern mountains are known for their longevity, and they have the highest proportion of centenarians, which means living over 100. And guess what? Kefir is a daily staple in their diet. Traditionally, the way they made kefir was pouring the milk into goatskin bags and hanging it on doorways. And as they went in and out, they would give it a little bit of a shake. Once it turned into kefir, they would consume it, add more milk, and they had a constant fermentation cycle going. What's absolutely wild is that they kept kefir grains and methods of making kefir a secret for hundreds of years. And it wasn't until the early 1900s that kefir stepped into the spotlight. Even owning kefir grains was equated to wealth. It is known that good gut health is associated with immune, heart, skin, and digestive health. Our bodies contain trillions of bacteria, from our skin to our inside. Even our lungs are coated with them. And for all of you germaphobes, you can relax because you're basically made out of germs. And that is why it's so important to incorporate as many different probiotic strains into our diet as we can, and why kefir should be on that list. Now for the big question, do you buy it or do you make it? To answer that, we have to really look at how it's made to understand the difference. Commercial kefir is made by introducing a starter culture into milk, which allows the bacteria to multiply, creating kefir. It is not the same as making kefir at home. In fact, it's more similar to the process of making yogurt. Kefir at home, made with actual kefir grains that are put into the milk, is always going to contain a lot more strains and quantities. And that's because for the commercial producers, they need to create a controlled environment. They need to put in a specific amount of strains to have a consistent product. Obviously, if you don't have the option of making your own, the one at the store is gonna be a step up from yogurt. And if you're wondering, where do I get these magical grains and how do I make kefir at home? Watch this next step-by-step tutorial.